on, everybody? I hope you all are having a great day. In this video, we are going to be taking my Ford 7.3 turbo diesel van for a 1,200-mile road trip. And this van has not been driven in a long time. So we're pretty much taking it right out of hibernation and going on this adventure. As you can see, it is pretty dirty. The other side is actually way worse. I was gonna write smoked out garage the dirt, but I thought I sized it wrong, so I stopped. But as you can see, it's just a typical New England rig with some rust. So we're hoping for the best. I did do a little bit of work just to make sure it was safe. I did put brand new nickel copper brake lines in the front, pretty much from master cylinder or ABS module, I should say, to each wheel, so we're safe in that department. And I did just put a brand new brake caliper and rotor and everything over here because it was hanging out. I actually have the old stuff right here, so you can see how bad it was. But these, you have to actually repack the wheel bearings, so it actually has new wheel bearings along with the rotor and the caliper and bracket. And here's the old brake lines, one of the old brake lines, just a piece that I cut out of it so you can see how crusty they were. But it is completely empty right now, so we have a clean slate to set it up for camping mode. And what I'll do is I'll set it up a little bit, show you what it looks like, and we'll head out on our adventure. This is how I'm gonna run it. Pretty basic and empty compared to how we normally have it, because a lot of times we're pulling a car, going to a race, and we have a lot more spare tools and parts in here. But for right now, we got the mattress, some sleeping bags, some tools, and just basic camping stuff. There's a tent in here, an air mattress. I'll bring the cooler out, and then we'll hit the road. We have gone over 200 miles and the 7.3 van hasn't skipped a beat. But we are at our first stop. This is called Letchworth Village, and this is an abandoned psychiatric hospital. And this is a huge piece of property. There are multiple abandoned buildings. So this is obviously not going to be a typical exploring video where we spend all day. But let's take a couple minutes and just see if we see anything cool. What if there's a ladder in here? Climb to the top of that thing. Oh wow, this is crazy. Wow! I'm in the stack! That is so cool. No ladder, obviously. I probably know people trying to climb up it. Echo! Smoked Out Garage! That's awesome. Oh, I sure this is all bird poop. Yuck. What's over there? This between the buildings looks like? Whoa! Look at this room! Holy crap! It's crazy. Phew. Look at these pumps and everything. Holy crap, look at this big engine. What is this? Made in US of A, what'd she be? Cummins, oh yeah, America. Hell yeah. Wow. What the heck is going on? What a crazy place. just cruising down the road and went underneath this cool abandoned bridge. So I looked it up on Google Maps, and apparently this is the Delaware River Viaduct. So let's take a quick look and see if we can walk along it at all. What a view! Let's see if I can get up here without falling in the river, shall we? Oh yeah. Whew, that's a far drop. Look at this view though. Get off of here. I keep going in these sketchy spots and I keep having a phobia of dropping stuff out of my pockets. It would definitely be a bummer to drop your phone off of one of these places. Oh crap. As much as I'd love to go explore that, I know it would literally be impossible to get down there with the camera because that's far. And it's pitch black, so I need to bring a light. And this ladder is a little sketchy and not attached at the top, so I think we'll skip this one. I do want to go down there, but I don't think it's worth it. But I think that's all for this stop. I could go down there, but we're skipping that, and it just looks like more bridge that way. So let's get back to the van and keep on journeying. I just went back to the van and grabbed my GoPro because this is gonna bug me if I don't see what's down here. I got a headlamp as well. Oh man, this is really sketchy. Don't break on me, ladder. Holy crap. Look at this, guys. It's wired together. Whoo, hoo, hoo. Sorry for the look at the wall. I know you're not getting any good footage right now. This is a long ladder. Whew. So this is what it looks like underneath the bridge. These archways that go through, and you're right over the water. Not very deep, it'd be fun to jump. I don't think that would work very well. All right, let's head back up here. It's so weird from down here. Try to give you a better climbing up shot this time so you can get the vibe. Woo! Work out! This is where it's like, oh my gosh, so sketch. This ladder is held on by a little piece of wire tie. So, I really don't want to fall 20, 30 feet back in there. I got a rope around my hand on the GoPro so I don't lose it. Put you right there while I get out of this thing. Woo-hoo! What an adventure. All right, now back to the van. 100 miles into our trip. We just made a stop here to stretch our legs. But we are way out in the middle of nowhere, legitimately Amish country. I don't know if I got it on video, but there were people with horses and buggies just cruising, a bunch of people in the traditional Amish clothing. It's just super peaceful out here. Nothing but the wilderness. Pretty cool. But these are some abandoned bunkers where they used to store TNT. They're called the Bunkers of Elvira. So let's take a quick look at them. Whoa, listen to that. Echo! I hope the mic picks up all of that noise. Holy crap. Echo! I want to get one more echo clip because it sounds crazy on camera. You're a wizard! That's so crazy. You can really hear the echo coming out as you leave. 1 minute. That's so scary. There's apparently like 150 of these bunkers on the property. So obviously we're not going through 150 of them. Ancient barbed wire. we're on our way back to the van now. But check out how peaceful it is here. Back in Massachusetts, it's never this quiet. We are 700 miles into our trip, and the old van has been running and driving great. But we are at yet another stop, and this one is called Kinzua Bridge in Pennsylvania. And this was once the longest and tallest railroad bridge in the world. But in 2003, a tornado came and took half of it down. So they have a bunch of it still here, but the whole middle is missing. But it's like super high up, so we're gonna take a walk out there, see how it looks. It is so windy up here. Good thing we got new wipers. Oh, big puddle, big puddle! Wow! Oh, no water. We are at our final planned stop of the trip, Niagara Falls. And I think right in front of us here is the rapids before the falls. You can see the Whitecaps just from the parking lot here. A little wet today. See if we can get a better vantage point over here. Oh yeah. officially on our way home now, and we have gone 1,033 miles. And as you can see, the 7.3 van is cruising right along. Just stopped at a rest stop here. Throwing some diesel in the rig. Have another downhill toge run here. This one's pretty steep. We made it home late last night, and I couldn't see it in the dark, but the Big Hoss did get a bit muddy from some of those dirt roads we were ripping down. And I am definitely happy to be home. That was a long trip. You guys saw the amount of different stuff we saw. And I set the mileage trip from this spot when we left, and we went 1,269 miles in the 7.3 here. And it was a great trip. The van drove phenomenal the entire time. I feel like this van is the perfect example of don't judge a book by its cover, because how many people would think this crusty, rusty, dirty van would be able to make that trip and make the trip in like luxury? It does have new tires, so it drove super smooth. And like I mentioned at the beginning, this thing's been sitting forever, and it had ice cold AC. I don't even know how that's possible. But make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment, and tell me if you want to see more adventures with the 7.3 van. But we're gonna wrap it up here, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!